Now, I want to get down to the bottom line here, and the bottom line is this. We believe in change. Change that empowers people across this America to believe in their government again and to know that the people that they have elected will stand up and fight for them. If Donna and I could tell you how many hours we spend with our good colleagues on our side of the issues talking about raising money, it would be an embarrassment, because it is an embarrassment that we spend so much of our time begging for money from friends and strangers and anybody who'll donate. And unfortunately, it takes away not only from the time we should spend as congressmen and senators, but it takes away from us when we make these final decisions. I got lucky in politics as a college intern for a fellow named Paul Douglas, but growing up in politics with a fellow named Paul Simon. Simon may have been the most honest man I ever met in any walk of life, but he would say honestly that if he got in late at his motel room after a busy day on the road and had a group of messages that needed a return call, and he looked through them and thought, I'm too tired to make all of them, I'm only going to make one of them, and one of those messages was from someone who just had a fundraiser for you, guess who you're going to call? It's a natural human reaction. It's appreciation. But it creates a dependency in this business that we've got to do our best to put an end to. That's why I'm working with John Larson for an issue which I want to commend to you that I hope will become the core of our effort on the progressive side, and that is to bring public financing to our political campaigns. We can do this. We can do it. And if you believe that it's another one of those right positions that we're taking that happens to be only supported by the abject minority, wrong. The polling shows that if you will sit down with people and explain exactly what we're talking about here, that to qualify for public financing, you have to go out and raise small contributions of less than $100 and collect signatures, those sorts of things that evidence popular support, so you aren't publicly financing people who aren't viable candidates in terms of even having basic support. If you explain to them that we're going to use these resources to make sure that people don't have to go begging for money from the special interest groups, if you explain to them that we're also going to give some help when it comes to paying for TV and radio as well, and if you explain to them it's totally voluntary, they get it. And if you tell them at least the way we're going to pay for it is by a surtax on companies currently doing business with the federal government, they don't think that's such a bad idea. In fact, it's a pretty modest amount of money when you consider how much these same companies are spending now in their lobbying efforts and their own political financing. And when you look at the states that have already adopted it, Arizona, Connecticut, and Maine, those are not necessarily blue states, but the people there bought it. In a referendum, they said it was the right thing to do. Shelley Pingree, the congresswoman from New Hampshire, you may know her. She's from Maine. I know her, I really do. From Maine. She came and told us that when you walk into a meeting now, a lot of people say, well, wait a minute, how many of you are the clean candidates? You want to raise your hand? The ones who have volunteered under the Maine Clean Elections campaign law. And she said, it's pretty nice to raise your hand under those circumstances. Well, I think that's where we need to go. And you look at the polling, and the polling shows this is an overwhelmingly popular idea among Democrats, independents, and Republicans. It is truly a bipartisan issue. It is one that we ought to grab and move forward. We will need Donna's help, because with Citizens United there will still be this cadre of people spending millions of dollars on the corporate side. But let's get it right when it comes to the individuals running for Congress and the way they finance their campaigns. Let me close, because they gave me the stop sign here a few minutes ago, and this young man's going to come up and punch me in a minute if I don't quit. It's important that you get together here, that you talk among one another, but that you not lose faith in why we are doing this. We are doing this because we believe in this country, we believe in this government, we believe in the values that have led us to this point in history. We are not going to be in any way cowered by right-wing radio or by Fox TV. We're going to stand up and speak for what we believe in, and we know in our heart of hearts when the American people are asked, they are with us. They are with us. Sometimes they're confused, and who wouldn't be in these circumstances? And sometimes they may not be 100% with us. But when it comes to the core values, they believe in what we are trying to do. Against the money and against the odds, Campaign for America's Future is basically moving us in the direction we need to go as a nation. Let me close with a word from a great friend, a former colleague, and an inspiration to all of us. This fellow from Minnesota, he used to walk kind of funny, campaigned in a school bus, and stood up and spoke on the floor of the Senate and left behind a legacy that we're all trying to continue. And here's what Paul Wellstone said: "The future will not belong to those who sit on the sidelines. The future will not belong to the cynics. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." Keep believing. Thanks, everybody.